Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today our group we want to present about the power of trade union. Before I start, I want to introduce myself. My name is Wan Zulaika binti Wan Zaidi and my group members Amila Norina binti Mazantio, Mimi Munawara binti Munir, Hasratu Umairah binti Irwandi, and Shifa Izzati binti Iskandar Fisur. So this is our overview, introduction, discussion 1, discuss about immunity, discussion 2, discuss about power register trade union, and the conclusion.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Emilia Nurina binti Mazventia and I will present in chapter 1, which is introduction. Trade union are association of employers or organization established together by workers or employees within particular trade, occupation, and industry in order to satisfy their demand for better working conditions. A trade union is an organization of workers who have joined together to protect the right of the members and to improve working conditions. The union negotiated terms and conditions with employers to ensuring the employee satisfaction and protecting employees from unequal or unsafe working conditions. This union exists to deal with issues faced by employees such as that relating to wages, unequal law of employment, scheduling, and so on. The employees working for one particular employer are represented by the workers' union. All the communication that takes place between the employers and the employee is typically performed through the union. All of the trade unions are also responsible and liable for the preservation of order, and the primary goal of the trade union is to ensure the proper relationship between employers and employees. And the trade union will take disciplinary action against workers who are ever misbehaving, disrupting workplace peace and unity, and preserving indiscipline. In addition, it is also the responsibility and obligation of each trade union to support the working of management and to contribute to the functioning of the organization by encouraging employees to increase the overall performance of the organization in a constructive manner. Trade unions are regulated by various legislation in different countries. They should follow the process and system of registration for the establishment of a trade union according to the law of the country. Trade unions established in compliance with their country legislation shall enjoy the privilege conferred by trade union law. With right and privilege of the trade union, it should perform certain duties with respect to the employee. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Zulaika binti Wan Zaidi. I will explain about discussion 1 about immunity. Okay, so now we will discuss about immunity. In part 5, right and liabilities of trade union, in section 20, Trade Union Act 1959 are discussed about disabilities of unregistered union. A union shall not enjoy any of right immunity or privilege of a registered trade union unless it is registered. So here it means if employer or employee join the trade union, they have right and have immunity. Okay, the trade union immunity is legal protection from civil action for trade union taking lawful strike action in further of an industrial dispute. Immune are divided by two: immunity from civil suit in certain cases and immunity from liability. Okay, so now we will talk about immunity from civil suit in certain cases. Trade Union Act 1959, Section 21. No suit or legal proceeding shall be maintainable at any civil court against registered trade union, exception in certain cases such as breaching a contract of employment, interference with trade, business or employment of others, and interference with the right of others to dispose of his capital or his labor as he will. Okay, the trade union can be liable for damage if it induces a person to break the employment contract by going on strike unless the act complained of was in contemplation or version of a trade dispute. Trade union considering call it a strike must, in practice, be extremely careful to ensure they only to do so in contemplation of version of a trade dispute. Otherwise, union funds will be at risk. Even if the act complaint of was in contemplation of version of a trade dispute, the union will not be protected against being sued if it fails to comply with certain preliminary requirements such as conducting a proper ballot or giving notice. There are statutory limits to the amount of damage which can be awarded against a trade union depending on the number of member trade union. An example, an employer can take civil action against his employee when they are absent from work, which means they have breached their contract of service. However, if they found to join a strike and the strike is legally done in contemplation of version of trade dispute, then no action shall be taken against the employee as the law provides them immunity in civil suit. Okay, from now we talk about immunity from liability. Liability means the fact that someone is legally responsible, accountable for something. The terrorist action interfere with someone's enjoyment, mentally or physically. In Section 22, Clause 1, 1959, the trade unions are immune from liability to any terrorist act. Liability have two types, liability in tort and liability in contract. Liability in tort. In Section 22, Clause 2, Trade Union Act, the legal register, trade unions are liable to any of their actions that involve third-party property and right. Although earlier it was mentioned that a trade union will not be charged for any coming in contemplation of a version of trade dispute. However, the law did state that union is trustee and officially is responsible for tasks done involving specific property or right of a trade union or its usage, such as trade union can be charged for the tort of nuisance if its premise is being used in a way that can cause nuisance to its neighbor. Second, it is liability in contract. In Section 23, Trade Union Act 1959, the registered trade union must be liable to any contract they enter. If the union breaches the contract, so the union must be liable accountable for it. There are certain circumstances in which the contract becomes void. Therefore, it cannot be enforceable. Example, if an individual is hired by an employer and the term of the employment agreement lists illegal job responsibilities, therefore the contract is void because it's against the law.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Fatul Maya binti Wandi. Now I want to proceed with the power of the trade union. The first power of the trade union is to spend a trade union funds. The general fund of a registered trade union shall not be spent or any other object than the payment of salary, expenses related to upkeep of an office, expenses related to the settlement of the trade union, compensation to members for losses arising out of the trade dispute, such as strike allowances, losses to member and their family on account of old age, sickness, accident, or unemployment. It also regarded with the expenses related to publishing of the new newsletter and expenses related to organization of social, sport, educational, and charitable activity of the members. This following is must be spent of the trade union. But the most importantly, the fund is prohibited to be spent on the any political purpose. Next, second is to amalgamate or merge unite with one or more registered union. The power of the registered union is to amalgamate or merge unite with the unit with the one or more registered union according to the Section 32 of the Trade Union Act 1959. Amalgamation of trade union means any two or more unions may be amalgamated together or one trade union with or without dissolution or division of the fund of such a trade union. For example, I can give the amalgate of a trade union is the Federation of Electronic Industry Union, KSIE, which is a network of a union that combines 4 electronic industry union of 4 regions in Malaysia. Next.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syifa Izzati binti Iskandar Fisal. I'm going to present about the third power of the registered trade union, which is to transfer any engagement or agreement to another trade union. According to the Article 33, Clause 1 of Trade Union, it stated that special resolution transfer is engagements to any other trade union whose members are employed within similar trades, occupations, or industries which may undertake to fulfill those engagements. In Clause 2, it stated that no transfer under this section shall take effect unless or until there are consent, especially from the Director General on application made to him in writing by the union, and after notice of the application has been published, and after hearing the union, any other persons whom he considers entitled to be heard has dispensed with that consent. The application for registration of the notice made in writing and signed by the chairman of the meeting and the secretary of the union, transferring its engagements by president, secretary, and trustees. According to Clause 4, every instrument of amalgamation or transfer shall specify any property to be vested under the foregoing provisions in relation to which the trustees of the amalgamated union or of the union undertaking to fulfill the engagements are not or will not be appropriate. Next power of the registered trade union is the power to collect money or other property. Devolution of property is based on Article 48 Trade Union Act. Upon any change in the office of any trustee, the High Court may, upon an ex parte motion made to it in that behalf, make an order vesting the property of a registered trade union in the trustees for the time being of the union for the same estate and interest as the former trustee had therein, and subject to the same trust, without any transfer, conveyance, or assignments. According to the Article 49, the investment of funds, Clause 1 stated that a registered trade union may purchase or take upon lease for the purposes of the union any land or building land, and subject to any written law or other law which may be applicable. Also, invest its funds in any securities or in any loans to any company in accordance with any law relating to trustees. Also, deposit its funds in the Bank Simpanan Nasional, also with the prior written approval of the minister and subject to such conditions as he may impose invest its funds. According to the Clause 2, minister may, before granting approval, require such trade union to obtain a report on the feasibility and viability of the subject under this section. The Director General may order any person to deliver to him any documents or accounts relating to the investment which are in the possession or control of that person and may inspect and retain them for such period as he deems necessary for such purpose. And any person who fails or neglects without 52 laws of Malaysia's Act 262 reasonable excuse to comply with any such order shall be guilty of an offence. And according to Section 3, every person who and every trade union which contravenes any of the provisions of subsection 1 shall be guilty of an offence and shall, on conviction, be liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or to a fine not exceeding 2,000 ringgit or both. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Next, the last one is to affiliate or associate or join with a consultative body. According to Section 74, Clause 1 of the Trade Union Act 1959, registered trade union may affiliate with a registered federation of trade union representing similar trade, occupation or industry if the consent of the member of the trade union. Trade union are permitted to affiliate to other body, both within, outside or in country. However, affiliation to foreign body need to be required permission of DGTU, Director General Trade Union. For example, many unions therefore join the Malaysian Trade Union Congress to get support and advice. They also unite union which is affiliated with overseas organization. For example, like the Transport Worker Union is affiliated to the International Transport Worker Federation (ITF). In Malaysia, we can refer to the MTUC, Malaysian Trade Union Congress. Is a federation of trade union and registered under the Society Act 1955 and responsible to providing advices its member to join the trade union. So that's all about the power of the trade union. So that's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, immunity protects a person or individual from any accusation or claim by another party as long as the trade union they join to has been legally registered. Immunity of trade union, which is immunity from civil suit in certain cases, then immunity from liability such as liability in tort and liability in contract. Although individuals in the trade union have immunity, but liability is required as a legal responsibility or obligation in order to provide justice to both parties and maintain the relationship of employees and employers. Responsibilities can be said as the duties that must be fulfilled by the employer, employees as well as their trade union. Both parties must strictly adhere to the stipulated rules and regulations. The responsibilities of those parties can be categorized into general and specific responsibilities. When all the things allowed and prohibited in the trade union have been met and in accordance with the law that has been set, then the trade union has power in the organization. The 5 trade union powers that have been discussed in this report show the rights that are allowed in the establishment of a trade union and are privileges that are only available in the trade union. This allows members of the trade union to make decisions or conduct trade union with the privilege of a given authority, as long as the given power is used properly according to the law. Thank you.